Members and friends of Pennine Ham for the regular BST Digital Net. Quite a few on this evening, and what can I say? I'm going to ignore all the ones on the top, who are just usually put on, except to Jim, G4JBA, who I did ask earlier on if you're going on YouTube, Jim, or coming on the net tonight. It's over to you, please. Nothing else from Jim, so I'm hoping that you'll be picking it up on YouTube. Problem there, as you know, very welcome indeed. Right over to Scotland for a bit. Be watching out. G6MJQ in the group. M0AUG. Good evening, Eddie. Well, nice warm day here. It is nice place. Well, I think it's still, I know someone on holiday in Scotland, and it's a bit still and chill up there in the Highlands. So, but in Yorkshire and here, it's warm, which is really good, especially for us southerners. Yeah, nice to get some sun on your back. Yeah, it's not very exciting here, but yeah, supper in the oven, but hot supper, I don't think you can face right now until later this evening. That can be a microwave job, I think. Yeah, back to you, Jeff, M0AUG, G6MJQ. G6MJQ, the group M0AUG, how far I've heard it. Your audio level's a bit down, but then I noticed that you're coming and using another building, so I don't know why that's a thing. Now we go the next time now, but the audio wasn't brilliant. Over to Northern Germany now, and our friends, like Adriana. The 1W with DL8 BT. Good evening, both of you. Over to you, Mike. DL1 BJW with DL8 BT. Mike. From Mike and Adriana this time around. So we'll come down to Lou. G8KJJ in the group, M0AED Lou. Yeah, good evening, Jeff, and a very good evening to everyone. WX in Nottingham has been glorious today, 25 degrees Celsius, although it did feel a bit hotter than that. The temperature tonight is 22 Celsius, which is really nice. Conditions over the last week have been variable. But at times, Tuesday was particularly good work. A number of stations, and China and across the pond on 20 and 17, all empty. SSB was very quiet when I was listening, so I think that was just that there was not too many people around at the time. Anyway, more from me the next over. So back to you, Jeff. M0AUG and the group G8KJJ. G8KJJ and the group M0AUG. Yes, fine enough. I'll tell you what is going this evening. I'm just going to jump back to Northern Germany and see if we can just pick up Mike and Happy on there. DL1BJW with the L8 BDT. Good evening to you both. Over to you, Mike. Also nothing from Mike and Adriana. So we'll go down to Taunton next and over to Dave. G6 and 7 in the group. 0AUG. Good evening for the second time, Dave. Good evening, Trevor. Here, of course, thinking Willie A2 and everyone so far will see it soon. Yeah, as was previously said, weather has been superb here. Went out in my car noon. It was showing 28. The conservatory went up to 20. So hopefully the colours are optimistic. It was perishing. Anyway, bit cooler coming, I hope. Especially as we've got a drug show on Monday night. I don't want it to be too hot, otherwise the staff will be frazzled. On the radio front, not a lot happening. I turned on the radio today and reception wasn't bad actually, but I didn't make any calls. I got nothing else to report, I'm afraid. AUG is group G6 and Z. G6 in the group M0AG returning. It's fine enough. I notice Andrew's not with us this evening, so maybe he's got something else on. And you can pick up on that one if you like next time around. And also, sorry, I meant to mention how you were in contact with FT8. He's good on that. I'm not big on the dance after at all this week with all things going on, but we'll catch up with everybody. Right, over to the Europe now, our friend Bob. November 4 XL for Tango in the group. M0AUG, good afternoon, Bob. M0AUG, November 4 X-ray Alpha Tango, good afternoon, good evening to everyone on the net or on YouTube for your copying us this evening. Very, very nice day here. It's like a warm summer day. Currently it's 77 Fahrenheit, about 25 C, so it's a nice day. This morning when I came out, I had to wear a sweatshirt, but I already moved that. Now I'm in a short-sleeved shirt. I've been going around on the radio, not necessarily I had been asked, but fairly following me around. I could pick him up. I couldn't get over spots that he received from all over Europe. It looked like it was going to just every country in Europe. Even after he shooted frequencies, he would hit one, I believe it was. I can't report. I didn't believe the number of reports that he was receiving yesterday. However, conditions from his area to the States weren't good enough for me able to give him a log yesterday. But one of these days that's going to happen, I'm sure. Other than that, before actually all the time, I was lazy. He could just jump out of that bubble. Oh, next time around. Over to you then, Nick. After all the praise you got from Bob, with your spots all over the place. Good evening, G4IWO in the group.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, thank you very much, Jeff, and good evening, everyone. And it was a shame, Bob, that conditions were not that good yesterday on HF. 40 metres was very poor, but I had the best success on 20, 2 or 3 other QSOs on some of the other bands. But I'll say a bit more about that later. I had a great day yesterday up on the Pennine Way, adjacent to Blackstone Edge Reservoir. It was such a beautiful day. Temperature was as good as it is today. We reached 26 degrees Celsius here today, currently 18 at home. But ideal conditions in many ways for sitting out for a few hours on the hills, and I did so. I think I had as many conversations with passers-by about amateur radio, of whom every single person who walked past me yesterday while I was operating stopped to chat, including a group of children from a secondary school with their teachers that were doing some practice for the Duke of Edinburgh Award at the school. And they all stopped for a chat, and they were absolutely fascinated with Morse code, with the aerial I put up, and with the kind of contacts I was making. And they wanted to transmit some Morse code as well. So it was brilliant and a lot of fun. So back to you, Jeff. M0AUG in the group G4IWO.
That's a new definition of outreach. You go up the hill and the people find you. But there you go. I mean, it's all good PR work, and well done to you, Nick, for that one. Over to you in Belgium now, Jeff. Oscar November 8, November 12, M0AUG. M0AUG, the group of 8 November Tango. Good evening to one and all, and also good afternoon to you, Bob. And a good evening to everyone on YouTube. Very now 27 degrees today and 27 degrees, and on Sunday we will have 30 degrees, half of that. So that's the weather we will get in the coming days. Very hot for the 1st of May. Anyway, just worked again, all 4 Victor Zulu Victor on 40 meters and single sideband. I think he is portable in near the river, the Humber River there, or the bridge near the Humber River. And yesterday I also worked Peter Mike Zero Papa Bravo Foxtrot Peter, which lives near Nick, I think. And he was at 78 on 40 meters, and he was working with 5 watts into a 6100 transceiver. So very, very happy that I have worked Peter also. I always get some pleasure from working people from the club, as much as from the big leagues in China. And congratulations on your league there, Japan. That's not bad. Very good. Okay, back to you, Jeff. My 080, the group over there, November Tango.
November Tango, the group, 080 returning. Yes, Jeff, and glad you were able to work Peter. Peter, in actual fact, is on the other side of North Manchester and near to a town called Stanley. That's one word, Stanley. That's where Peter lives. I don't think he's in a bad location, though. He's on the hillside as he's coming out of there. I'm sure he was absolutely pleased to be able to work in there, Jeff. So well done to both of you on that. Right, back up to the top of the list. I must explain this evening, everybody. As I said yesterday, so if anybody's call sign's wrong or unless you answer on in the wrong order, feel free to jump in and tell me that I'm wrong. I can't see all the screen completely with two eyes. It's just a moment. Over to you there, Eddie. G6MJQ in the group. M0AEG.
Yes, well, we'll forgive you. Hey, I hope you go okay. Now, well, I've increased my mic gain from structures left, so hopefully that's better. And, my watch has been buzzing earlier on this evening with reports of moderately high, or certainly an increase of geophysical activity up to 75 nanoteslas, so that usually affects HF bands. I'm afraid my HF activity this week has been very limited. Unfortunately, quite a bit of admin to do. But I did, regarding the Flatland Isles, the expedition, on the first night was listening after doing a few jobs. Late at night, about past 11 at night, and I heard, I was 40 metres, and I could hear quite nicely the guys on the island there. And I thought, I'll just finish what I'm doing, and then I'll give them a shout. And, it always happens, doesn't it? I should be more determined to work them. Yeah, so, and then I picked up the mic, bound to give a shout, and it was a long jam. And then after we were going to RT, so my claim to fame regarding that expedition, I never did hear them again, never did hear them. I did try a few times, but my main method this week has been an update of the band. We're just overlooking Anymore Mast. We've updated our broadband from hoisted pair to the house with about, if you're looking, 26 megabits a second to wireless to house. So now we've got a dish on the back of the house, about 2 foot dish, just under the eaves, and pointing directly at the Anymore mast. And so we've shot up to over 200 megabits a second. Just take a minute. G6MJQ. Yes, so just over 200. So the last day and a half I've been busy. It's amazing the number of devices in the household. About 13 or more. And I've been busy connecting them to the new system, but I'm not cancelling the BST system. This is a bit of a trial, so we'll see how it goes. So that, I guess, is my excitement this week. M0AUG, G6MJQ.
G6MJQ in the group. tuning. Yeah, fine enough, Eddie, and yeah, the increase in your audio was just a bit when you went down when you were talking about the link to Emily Moore, but maybe you moved away from the mic a bit there. I'm glad that you get that sorted there. So on the fibre front, as you may remember, I had about a gip and a couple of claims from one of the installers from Horror. BT came along a few months ago, maybe even last year, and wanted to lift all the pavings and drill holes all over the place, and to the extent that I sent them away. A manager, I think, from Openreach is coming to see me in a couple of weeks' time to see if we can take advantage of the ducting and everything that I had installed in the hole when the hole was being built. So we'll take it all from there. The problem is that my existing BT contract expires within a few weeks' time, so we'll just have to see how it goes from there. Let's try Northern China and see around two friends that were up to last time. DL1 BJW in the group and DL1 BGT. Good evening to you both, and over to you, Mike.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo, truly appreciate it. Good evening, everyone. Sorry, we just came on 60 seconds ago, I think. There were some difficulties to sort out here, and now everything seems to be fine. Yeah, glad to hear you all again, and hope everybody is okay and well, and hope that your health issues there, Jeff, are also better now with the operation. And perhaps you can hear in the background that there's a big festivity taking part here on about 150 meters from our QTHHI, because today it's kind of holiday, 1st of May, and people are having fun at the kind of pub not far away here, and there has been music, especially heavy drumming, the whole day from 10 a.m. onwards until now, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they will put an end to it this evening at 10 p.m. or something like that. It's really, that's a little bit trying, yeah, but okay, nevertheless, otherwise, I'm not aware of the topic in the last statements here on the net now, but one word from us to MM0 UKI, that was really fun. It was very exciting. I followed it up very closely, and very excited that it could be monitored by us, and that everything went okay, of course, and all participants came home safely, so thank God for that. And we were also very happy to make some contacts after the last DSTAR meeting with Nick. We tried again, and about 1 hour after this, we had very clear contacts on SSB on 20 meters with them, and this was a real 5 and 9 signal. Very astonished about that, because in the morning there was absolutely nothing to be heard, and the day before that it was also very, very difficult. But then, as I said, 5 and 9 signal, one could think they had put an amplifier to it or something like that. It was really astonishing and very okay. So far from my side, passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yes, very good evening to all of you here from northern Germany.
The weather at the moment is quite nice. It's about 28 degrees during the daytime, very, very astonishing, and sunshine, and therefore the festivity which Mike mentioned outside is, I think it's really a warning for the participants, but I hear the best of them, so I can't stop following the drums. So I was very pleased to be part of the group which followed Pennine Islands, and I said to Mike it was quite good to see how amateur radio makes things possible and communication possible, situations where any other means fail. And this was quite so. Yes, I hand the microphone back to M0AUG for the meeting.
DLAPUT and DL1 BJW in the group, M0AUG returning. Yes, thanks both of you for the messages on the net and also offline as well. Much appreciated. Yeah, the amateur radio, I mean, it's absolutely great that we've been able to, as a club, take part in an audition with Nobby there, and well done to Nick for arranging all this, and even though I think we would have liked to have spent more time on Flandern, it was certainly good exercise and good publicity as well. Over to you, Lou again, JJ in the group, M0AG.
Yeah, Jeff, M0AUG and the group GAKJJ. Yeah, G6 MJQ, Adrian, the audio is very good. Now you turned the mic gain up a bit. Very nice to listen to. The Delta Loop continues to progress. It's finished, apart from setting up, and I had hoped it were up today, but gardening and other jobs intervened. But it does look the business, now it's painted. And it should be easy to set it up for other bands besides the 10 metres it was designed for. It should be possible to tune it to by telescoping the aluminium tubes. It should be able to bring in 6 metres and 4 metres, and maybe even by extending the tubes a little bit, and we might be able to get 12 metres as well. Anyway, that's the hope, but I hope to have more to report on that week, and maybe I'll have worked a few stations on that Delta Loop. I did enjoy the presentation by Nick and Ken. I listened to that and watched it over the weekend, and it was very, very interesting. And yeah, I do congratulate Nick and Ken for a very good presentation. Anyway, back to you, Jeff. M0AUG and the group GAKJJ.
GAKJJ and the group M0AUG returning it fine that loop. We'll look forward to the next stage of adventures next week. And yes, the program that Nick and Ken put together, I finished having to watch it on the YouTube channel, and it was very interesting indeed. And Nick and Ken were very grateful to both of you for doing that. It's what the club's all about, isn't it? So, when we come to you, Nick, you can perhaps give us an update on, if anybody is listening on the YouTube channel. So I think call Jim earlier on that no reply, so I assumed it was out offered a meeting or on the YouTube channel. But in the meantime, back down to Taunton. G677, the group M0AUG.
M0AUG is great. Yes, thanks, Jeff. Good evening to all the others who jumped after and said hi. First of all, I did speak to Andrew last week, and I'm pretty certain he said on this week. I can't remember why, but I know he's very busy with Rotary, and he does have other commitments. I don't think he's weathering his injuries well either from his accident with nettles and brambles in Taunton, which must have gone down like a lead balloon for him, poor devil. Also, I won't be here next week as I'm doing a talk in Bristol, so by the time I get home, I'm not going to be worth anything. I just want to get vented out, normal, how I feel. Otherwise, as I said earlier, I've hardly done any radio work at all. I've monitored a few times and found that basically the bands have been dead down here. I haven't ever used FTA, I'm afraid, Jeff. I've had a look at it after Tunnel Jeff recommended it to me, but just found it a little bit too complicated at the moment. I've got other things on my mind, so I gave it a miss. At least I managed to master C4FM and WiresX and the OpenSpot, OpenSpot 4. So I'm still using my brain at times. Other than that, not a lot to say, I'm afraid. Back to you, Jeff. G0 AUG in the group, G6ZSN. I can't even think of my own group.
M0AG telling. Yes, fine on that day, and you do nice and clear this evening, and that's okay indeed. And thanks for the update, Andrew. I think you might have mentioned it last week that he was on Rotary or one of his other activities, and thanks for letting us know that he might not be joining us next week. But if he's fine, if not, we understand fully. You do too much sometimes, you know that yourself. Back over to Bob in New Jersey now. November 4 XL for Tango in the group, M0AUG.
0AUG with the group, November 4 XL for Tango. I'm apparently having bad internet connections today. So I really don't know where I stand. I've missed most of the transmissions, trying to reconnect, and it just hasn't happened. I do have a picture, if my internet holds out, I do have a picture today, and I'm going fairly well on my POTA. They didn't upgrade the totals today, but so far I know that I have 2,210, and I had 1,100, 1,100. I'm 1,185 on the list as of yesterday morning as far as the status goes, and that's about 47,425 hunters, so I can't really complain. I'm about 0.29, but I don't know if I'll ever get past that 0.2%, but I can't complain being less than 1,200 out of 47,000, so there you go, Jeff. And I don't know, even if my first transmission got through, because after that I heard nothing, and I kept trying to reconnect, and I connected, and immediately would disconnect, so I definitely had a problem with the internet. Back to you, Jeff. M0AUG with the group, November 4, X-ray Alpha Tango.
Alpha Tango in the group, M0AG tank. No fire on that, Bob. You were getting towards the end of your over before you dropped out, so not a problem there. Well on your position in the league there. Very, very commendable indeed. You put a lot of work into it, and enjoy hearing what you got through the latest ones. So, I'll go to Nick now, and Nick, if you can let us know if you know who's on the YouTube channel, that would be good as well. And Bob, of course, what you missed out, you can always pick up on YouTube as well. C4IWO in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, thank you very much, Jeff, and everyone else. We've got people who are watching on the YouTube channel. A few people have come in and gone out again. Currently we've got 4 people watching the live stream, but no one's come onto the chat to introduce themselves. So it could be they're listening, for example, on something like a mobile phone and haven't been able to access the chat facility there. I'm not sure, but in any event, we're up to 5 now. I did type a message saying please feel free to join in and let us know. So of those watching, do introduce yourself if you get an opportunity. Just say hello and I'll pass that on to Jeff and the rest of the net. Going back to Lou, first of all, thank you, Lou, for your comments about the presentation that Ken and I gave last week in the club. Glad you enjoyed it and hopefully got a few ideas from it as well. One of the great things about our club is encouraging portable operation in particular, and even tonight we've got 2 members, not just Ken, who's out down by the Humber Bridge. We've also got Owen, M0OGR, who is also out portable in a park this evening working poter as well, and they're hoping for a QSO between the 2 of them. So it's great fun that we've got people encouraged to do that. On the Flannan Isles, I think they had a remarkable visit out there. When you consider they didn't actually arrive on the island until Sunday. They didn't get operational with one station going first of all until 9 p.m. on Sunday night. And then on Tuesday, they had to leave the island at 5 o'clock. In that time, they made approximately 3,000 QSOs. I think that is a remarkable achievement given the very short amount of time they had and the fact they only had 3 operators. And a big thank you from me to Mike and Adriana and Jeff on the net here tonight for their contribution in the support group that we put together to listen out for them on the Flannan Isles on the communications that we were providing to them. Particularly the critical bit was communication between the island and the skipper of the boat. And it was very, very nice at the end when the skipper had to contact me to pass on the message that the weather conditions were deteriorating, and if he didn't get them off on Tuesday, it was likely that it was not going to be until later in the weekend, next weekend, that they would be able to be taken off the island, but he couldn't be specific about that. The difficulty for Nobby, Paul and Jamie on the island is that they'd taken enough food and water, critically water, for 4 days of operation, and they had another 2 spare on top of that, but they would have been potentially in quite a lot of trouble if they hadn't got the message and had got stuck there, because it probably would have necessitated an emergency call to the Coast Guard, and that's obviously best avoided if at all possible. So it was very, very nice that we were able to give them that help and support and keep in touch with the skipper of the boat, Neil. And I spoke to Neil on the phone several times, and he thanked me and our club for the support that we gave and was very impressed with what we did. And I've had comments from Jamie and Paul and Nobby since they arrived back on the Isle of Lewis. So that was, I think, very, very good, and they had a remarkably successful de-expedition there, and that was good fun. On my final over, I'll give an update about club meetings coming up. We've got some very, very interesting speakers coming up, and more about that later on. M0, AUG in the group, G4IWO.
Yeah, good job done all round, Nick, and thanks for all the work that you put into arranging it all. And obviously it's appreciated by the people who've done the little expedition as well, and it was good that Nobby was able to be okay on that as well. And also the crew had sufficient supplies for the time they were there. So good job, well done, I reckon. Over to you there, Jeff. Oscar November 8, November Tango in the group. M0AG.
AUG, the group overlay of Upper Tango. Okie all copied very well. And congratulations on the Delta. It's really curious to know how that works and nice to know that you can learn on other frequencies. That's brilliant. That's very good. And congratulations, Bob, on Volta. You are still going strong there. Very good. And Mike, I heard a Delta Lima 2 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. First of all, I thought it was you, but it was Delta Lima 2 Bravo Juliet Whiskey at FT8 on 40. I think he was also in Juliet Oscar 43, so that's probably someone that you know. Well, my zero uniform kilo uniform, I worked it once the day before the last day, but I never got the 73 and a confirmation, so that was not a good QSO. But on the last day, during June, I got an FT8 contact on 40 weeks, actually just after Mike in Germany, Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. And very happy that I finally made it, so that's brilliant. I think the highlight for me was the conference Saturday in Louvain, at the University of Louvain. Really very, very enjoyable, very good content, very good conditions. A lot of young people, not only students, because we were in a university, not only students. On the right of me, there were two young ladies about in their 20s, beginning of their 20s. One had a foundation license, the other was a software listener, and very interested to become a ham. And on my left side, I had a young engineer in informatics, which was about 30 years old, and played a little bit with LoRa boards and with Tastic, but by that way discovered that there was something like amateur radio, and was also very interested in the talks we got there. Was really interesting stuff. I've done some shortwave and worked some stations, but overall on this work medium. So back to you, Jeff. My 08, which is the group OLA November. Thank you.
November Tango, the group M08 returning. Yes, fine on the conference there, Jeff, and it was really good to share some of the slide information there, what's going on. And, I think I tend to go to the RSGB convention each year because a lot of it is not the program that's on the convention. It's in actual fact the people you meet at the convention. And I think I've been going to that particular one, not necessarily, but that particular one for probably about 15 years, something like that. So it's an interesting one. Obviously, age is coming against it, so I don't know that I'll be making that journey this time around. I'm hoping to get the National Health Newark in September, but whether I'll make the convention this year or not, for health reasons, I don't know. But always interesting, and it's good. The social sides are good as the talks that you get, and lots of variety as well with Amstead as well there. So thanks for that, Jeff. Right to the top of the list again, and next time round, if you know of anybody who's in there, particularly Jim, I don't want to ignore Jim, but I did put a call out earlier on asking him if he was on the net or in the YouTube, and he didn't come back to me. But Jim was one of the few who's permanently logged into the station here. So back up to you, ladies. U6MJ, you're in the group, M0AUG.
Yeah, all good, well done, Nick. So, I'm looking for the guys on the island. I would have loved to have taken part in that, but frankly, with the noise, etc., there's no chance. 20 metres recently has got noisy again, and it sounds very much like solar panel noise again, or inverter noise from the solar panels to be more precise, which is a bit of a bummer, but that's why I'm so sorry to hear them coming through from 5 and 9, perfectly readable. Like Jess said, on 20, but I experienced it on the top end of 40 late on the Sunday night that went on Sunday evening. And Sunday they were up at the end of 40. And that was a pleasure to hear them working, though. better than now. So well done on that. Brilliant. And I've been experimenting yet again, as I do, with the MSG. This is not on artificial ground, and my ST897. I've connected in the MSJ artificial ground, basically after an ATU, isn't it? Lengths of wire coming from it, and on the back of quite a large radiator. So, unlike Ken, I mean, it was setting it solid into a ground, with native arms. I've been using the radiator, and I don't know whether it was because fans were better, but it really helped me on my noise locally. But I did think that the signals coming in, the noise ratio from that was better. And I don't know why, but I don't really understand the technology on that, whether how much signal goes through the ground, or I guess not a lot. It's probably more the effect on the transmitted antenna signal. So somebody can put me right there. Right, I'll just take a brief tip. JQ. Yeah. Oh, thanks. It was Lou said the audio wasn't bad at all now. Good. I'm using Yaesu 70. And on the end mode, because usually in the mornings when I'm on the net, I use voice wide with my nose, and it's even better there. I'm told, but I'm told it's good on voice wide through my WiseX node. Anyway, without further ado, back to you, Jeff. Sorry if I held it a bit for the time. G6FJQ. G6FJQ in the group, I'm sorry, returning. Yeah, no problem at all there, Eddie, and thanks for the updates on all that and what you've been doing. And back over to you, Mike Cartel now. DL1BJW with DL8BDT and 0AUG. Over to you, Mike, please.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. Yes, first of all, congratulations to Lou, Bob, and Jeff on 8 November Tango for their achievements. Very well done. And also Jeff on 8 November Tango mentioning DL2 BJW, Delta Lima 2 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. That's the call of a woman called Marita, who is in Bremerhaven at the North Sea, and she and her deceased husband, Winfried, have been doing the exam shortly after Adriana, and so I think we just met them years and years ago. Very nice people indeed, and Marita is doing the curatorship for museum vessel in Bremerhaven, the Seefalken there, I think. Okay, radio-wise, it's apart from MM0UKI, there was not much on my part to report, except that I tried to reach several of the expeditions. Beside that, with no successes, except which is not the expedition, of course, Victor Kilo 9 Delta X-ray from Norfolk Island station actually living there. And I was trying to contact him on FT8, and it was nothing doing until I switched over to FT4 on 28 megahertz, and then, hey presto, it immediately succeeded. I was very glad about that. Yeah, sometimes astonishment on my side when things against my expectations result in the positive end and actually give me a success, which is not guaranteed. But okay, so far from my side, passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta. Thank you.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the group. Yes, on my side, radio-wise, I can report some new things inspired by the talk which Nick and Ken held 2 weeks ago, and by Nick set up for portable operation. I bought a short connector from AliExpress, which has an M10 connector for the 5.6 meter width and telescopic width, and on the other side PL239 socket and ground spike. And this setup came for about 40 euros, I think straight away from China, with radio, for the radio set, and it arrived yesterday, and we had put it up in the garden and measured the SWR by tuning the antenna up and down, and we could get it tuned to 1 to I think 1.2 by doing this, so that it can be used without an antenna tuner for portable operation. And I think we can put even our JP C12 coil into it, as Nick does it if one wants to operate on 40 meters. But yes, I make some tests with it, and I think it's quite portable and not quite lightweighted. So that might be a thing which can be used during the following summer. So these are the breaking news from here, and I hand the microphone back to M0AUG for
Yeah, we always enjoy hearing about the various experimentations that you two get up to, and very interesting. And I'm a bit jealous because I don't have the time at the moment to be able to do these sort of things at all. So thanks, Mike and Adriana, for sharing those with us. We do enjoy your contributions there. And over to you there, Lou. G8, KJJ. I think everybody appreciated your contacts that you made on the FT8 there. M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group G8KJJ. Yeah, thanks for that, Jeff. It's been a really interesting net this week. I'm increasingly interested in some of the constant and negative said about in the air. Well, obviously, Bob, but Nick and his portable working. It's something that I might try and get into. But so many interesting things, and you can only do so much. But anyway, the artificial earth, I mean, that's the artificial ground, I mean, that's quite an interesting thought. Something to maybe follow up on. Anyway, I'm going to cut it short because we've got thunder and lightning outside, and I think we're going to get a bit of rain. And I better go and see if I've put all the gardening stuff away. But anyway, I'll say 73 to everyone. It's been, as I say, very, very enjoyable, and I look forward to next week's net. 73s and all the best. So back to you, Jeff. M0AUG and the group GAKJJ.
The group M0AUG telling you. Fine, that's and thank you for your contribution to the evening. You've become a vital part of this little group now, and you can see the sort of things that people discuss. We don't have a formal agenda, but things just evolve in the group, and that's how it's gone on for all the time since we started. So thanks very much for being a part of that. You want to switch yourself off and keep yourself from life now. Look forward to catching up with you next week. Over to you, Dave. G677 in the group. M0AG.
AUG in the group G677. I'm going to make this my final as well, I'm afraid, Jeff. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning. With regard to radio, I went to tune up my antenna a couple of days ago with the BST S10, and it wouldn't even start to tune. So I checked the SWR and found it was off the scale. When I checked the circuitry on the cable, it was short, a dead short. I'm not sure how it happened or why it happened, but I ended up replacing both ends because the cable unfortunately goes under the floor, and there's no way can I change it, so I can't replace it either. Anyway, it's absolutely brilliant now. It's back to normal, and radio's working absolutely fine. And I had a FTM 500 which I took back because that wouldn't connect to OSX for some reason, no matter what I chose. So that's my experience with radios this week, and that's enough to keep me occupied anyway. My HF, Sigma HF multibands are working absolutely brilliantly when there's someone to talk to. But I did find out what everyone says, that horizontal has a lot better reception in noisy areas than vertical. I was having problems here with the vertical, so I switched over to the horizontal, and yes, it was working a lot better. Anyway, as I said, I'll play 7-3 to you all. I'll listen around to the end, and then I shall hop off to bed. Good night.
The group M0AG returning. Thank you for that, and thanks very much for joining us this week. I've already noted that you won't be with us next week. So take care and stay safe, and look forward to catching up with you in 2 weeks' time. Thanks for your contributions this evening, and G677 in the group, M0AG. Thank you. And we'll go over to Bob now in the US. We're not at finals yet, Bob, we're getting close. M4XAT in the group, M0AG.
0AUG in the group, November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango. First of all, Lou has probably already left because of his thunderstorms, but at any rate, parks on the air, I have to admit that 99% of my parks are in CW, but I have made 215 FTA contacts with parks also. I go to FTA, and I'll go especially, of course, to SSB, which I have 325 contacts. Now, that's not different parks, that's contacts. I don't know how many parks I've received in each of them, but when I run out of parks pick up locally in CW. I will occasionally go to SFP or SSD. So look for Parks of the Year on SSD also, and I'm sure that you'll find some. Again, thank you for running the net. I'll have to go on tomorrow and listen to the whole net as the first half of the net. Of course, I did miss it. I had a lot of problems with my internet today, and I do thank you for running the net, Jeff, and I'll catch up with all the activities via the download that Nick provides to this net onto YouTube. I'll do that tomorrow morning. So with that, I do have a photo, and when you're ready for me to send it, let me know, and I'll send it back to you, M0AUG with your group, November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango.
November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango in the group, M0AUG returning. Yeah, fine on that, Bob, and thanks for your contributions this evening. This is the time now when we start to rearrange the order, and I'm going to ask you if you inform I'm next, and what you put to Nick for you, Bob, and Jeff in Belgium can do your finals and send over the pictures as well. So, we'll be there ready for your finals. G6MJQ in the group, M0AG.
How they look at it. The sky's looking a bit heavy. What's it blue saying? Getting hearing thunder this way, so I don't know what's going to happen here. It's Calvin. Oh, no. Yeah, verticals versus horizontal. Yeah. But might be picking up a lot of noise, but I don't need an ATU. Get back to the digital wire because every the phone call someone's back. We discussed a magical length for an outside wire, so mine's about 23 meters across the room and round the country. It's set up with analyzer, and it was a compromise. Set it up as a compromise on the main band, and then attached it to the coax as it comes in the bungalow with a 9-to-1 other, and which took to reduce or get rid of common home current coming down the coax. And I don't need an ADU with it. It's brilliant. It's terrific. Sweet spot on the length of an outside wire. I know recently I've heard of people saying that, oh yes, this outside wave with the 49-to-1 of them, and go praising that. And it produces quite a easy to put up solution for motors and whatever out and about. But experienced it once when I tried it a year or two ago with Andrew. But yeah, fascinating. So, without further ado, as I say, yeah, sunseas everybody. Have a great week. And good DX there. Some of you at least. Oh dear, I must get out and about and get away from the noise. Anyway, back to you, Jeff. Thanks for sharing that. M0AUG, G6MJQ. I'll listen till the end, but cheers all. G6MJQ. Back to you.
G6MJQ in the group, M0AUG returning. Fine, thanks Eddie, and thanks for joining us this evening. Just looking on the WhatsApp group, again, about 5 minutes ago, was in QSO with a VK2 on 7.169, and VK2 EFM was a station he was working there. So that's the latest update from Ken's activities there. Thanks for joining us this evening, Eddie, and if you're able to make it, we look forward to catching up with you on the Oldham Net on a Sunday morning there. Over to Northern Germany fuel finals, please, now, Mike and Algera. D1 BJW with the IBT M0 AUG in the group. Over to you, Mike, please.
Yes, Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey for the final. First of all, I'm very happy to report that the infernal noise outside has stopped. So this should be a very quiet night. Thank you very much to all of you for your company and very interesting meeting here again. It's always a pleasure to be part of it, and it's always very interesting and very enjoyable. And of course, thank you very much for hosting the net excellently again, Jeff, and doing a very good job. So 73 to you all. Have a nice weekend coming up, a very good start into the new week, and hope to see you down the log soon. Passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango with the final. Yes, thank you very much to all of you. Thank you for hosting the net, Jeff, and I hope that the health will be better. And yes, it was quite interesting to listen to all of you and get some inspiring new information. So I wish you all a pleasant weekend. Hope to meet you soon down the log or on Zoom or Digital Net. Bye-bye, 73 and 88 from Northern Germany. This was Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango. And the microphone back to M0 AUG for the book.
BDT with TL1 BJW, and thank you very much for your contributions both this evening and your thoughts as well. And we look forward to catching up with you next week. Getting messages coming through on the phone and all sorts of things at the moment. So, thanks again to both of you. We look forward to getting up with you again next week. And at this stage, I'm going to pass it over to Nick so he can give us a final update on the YouTube channel, and then we'll go over to Malmö and Chief in Belgium for the pictures. G4IW in the group, M0 AEG. Another good night tonight, Nick.
M0 AG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, thank you very much, Jeff, and thank you for making this another enjoyable net. And a good evening to Ian Cook, who's been listening to us on the YouTube channel. Ian is from near Nuneaton in Warwickshire, and just popped in to say hello, and that he'd been enjoying the net tonight. So glad you've enjoyed, Ian. Just a couple of bits of news really. We've got our next two speakers coming up is next Wednesday. We've got James, WA3TFS, who wrote a very interesting article about a build for a small linear amplifier for QRP rigs to give an output of about 30 watts, 40 watts from a QRP transmitter. So he's going to give us a talk about that. And then on the 21st of May, we've got Tim, GW4BXE, who writes regularly for Practical Wireless. And Tim is going to talk about satellites for beginners. So that should be interesting for those people who have not yet had a go at listening to any of the satellites or working through them where they've got transponders. So that should be a good talk. We're probably going to have a third one actually, because one of our speakers who wrote a fascinating article in QST from the US and agreed to give a talk in June, but is now having to change the date because he's going away. I believe he's actually going out to Australia now, and the dates coincide. So I'll probably slip him in this month as well, later in May. So we may well have 3 lots of speakers in May. And he wrote an article about a square beam, a wire square beam for 2015 and 10. So a kind of variation on the hex beam and the spider beam, but slightly different design and probably a little bit simpler, but something that he's had good results with. So those are our speakers coming up. And just to make a comment, I tried to listen at one stage very briefly to Ken on 40 metres, and I've been able to hear Ken, but I haven't been able to hear the VK2 station that he's in contact with. And that proves the point, doesn't it, about operating in the right location, because Ken is down there next to the Humber estuary, very close to the sea water down there, and that is enabling his signal to be hugely enhanced and to both receive and transmit into Australia. Alan VK2 EFM, who is in QSO with, is based about 30 miles north of Sydney, so a good old distance away on the other coast of Australia, and I can't hear him at all, but obviously Ken is having a good contact there on 40 metres. So as they say, location is everything, isn't it? And I hope Owen as well, M008 OGR, has also had a good evening. I'm sure he'll let us know what he's done. And just a final appeal from me is that we've set up a separate YouTube chat group for people who want to upload videos. So Ken's been busily uploading videos from his operation on the Humber, and I'm going to put them together into a single film, and we'll put that on the YouTube channel. I did the same with my operation yesterday, and we'll put those together into a single film and put it up on the YouTube channel. So if we've got anyone who wants to share some videos, if they do want to join the specific WhatsApp chat group I've got just for uploading video content, then just let me know and I'll send you an invite to or add you to that group, because it will be good to have a few people who manage to do that from time to time. So Seb threes everyone, thank you very much for a great evening, and thank you again Jeff for your excellent sharing of the net tonight. Back to you, M0. Oh, and Ian's just popped in saying he's looking forward to the satellite talk. Yeah, you and me both, Ian. M0, AUG in the group, G4IWO.
G4IWO, the group M0AG returning, and thanks for that, Nick, and thanks for all the information, and obviously thank you to Ian for looking about the satellite one, and all is well with you, Ian. It's good to have you on this evening. Right, we'll start things up now by going over to the US. Well, we'll see you both for your finals and your photograph. Good being with us this evening, and being as entertaining as usual, Bob. November 4, X Alpha Tango in the group. M0G. 0AUG with November 4, X Alpha Tango. Well, once again, thank you for running the net, Jeff. I look forward to a week. And this week was no exception, even though I did have some problems. It'll give me something extra to do tomorrow morning. Thank you again. And tonight, my picture is of the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island in the background. So stand by, and I'll send a picture. thank you for this and thanks for your contributions this evening as well. Look forward to catching up with you next week.